I have learned about the back PHP and the Laravel thing. And in 2022, I have started working as a backend developer in the PHP. And from 2 years, I am working in this field. And and currently, I'm working in Apprentice Technology Private Limited.
Okay, that's quite good. So I have checked out your CV and find out that you are just working from having the graduate from the electronics department. So why are you like this fighting?
Actually, sir, after I've done my engineering, then there is no college placements and there is no scope is there in the field. And in few months, uh, I have also to learn about the competitive exams also, but there is no selection I have done. So I have decided to work in the software field because in the starting of my engineering, there I have learned some basic language like C++, Java. So I seen that there is a chances to work in this field, and when I enter in the software department as a software QA engineer, so I have multiple projects that are working. So I have curiosity to learn to know about this thing, that how it works. So the curiosity is then I'm excited to learn about I excited to learn about it, and then I will decide to learn and go in this. So that's why I learned the development, and I currently I'm working in this field.
That was quite good. So what was your current CTC?
So my current CTC is 4.2 lakh currently.
Yeah, and what were their expectations?
So it would be 5 LPM.
So why are you just looking for another job? Like currently you're working in a good company with a good package.
Actually, sir, when I have joined in the company, so in the starting it was good, but when I am working in, then there is a very the projects are coming in their project. These projects is coming, but currently I am working, but its projects is not coming yet well, which coming in the beginning. So I want to grow in the knowledge in the PHP field also. So if there is no project, then how would I learn and new things and I will implement it. So that's why I'm switching my position.
Yeah, but like projects are coming and going in every company. Like it was supposed to be a TCS, supposed to be an Infosys or someone at like now in the every company like this one having the phase. Like where projects are coming and going.
But sir, I have since working from I have since waiting from 3 months or 4 months. But I want to enhance my knowledge also to grow in my knowledge and skill.
How much languages do you know?
I have currently I have learned basic Java and PHP and Laravel and HTML and JavaScript basic knowledge I have.
Have you familiar with the front-end language as well, like React, Angular, Vue.js and all?
No, sir. Actually, I have not learned about it.
So, are you comfortable with JavaScript or jQuery?
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable with JavaScript and the some part of the front end I'm handling it. I'm handling my project. When some any minor issues are there is coming in front end, but majorly part I'm working in backend.
So, how much you can rate yourself out of 10 in JavaScript?
In JavaScript, I can rate it by 4 about Laravel. In Laravel, I will rate out of 10, 6 or 7.
And in PHP?
In PHP, I will rate out 8 or 7, 8.
Okay. So, what are the constructor in PHP?
Sorry?
What are the constructor in PHP?
Constructor, sir, when in OOPS concept, there is the constructor is aligned in OOPS concept. Like when in the PHP there is a class and objects are there. So when we declare the class and after we call the objects of the class, then constructor is called automatically. So if we want to do any specific task that can call when object is creating, and then
why we need constructor?
Like constructor, it will call by call by automatically when object is created, sir.
Yeah, but like for that you can like set timeout as well. Or like for that we can set among a function for a prune and all, like whenever the class or function has been called, we can do some more things as well. Why we need constructor? We can do some other things also. Like we can set up a cron, like whenever you are just setting and you are, and then we can run up the functions. Why we need constructors?
Sir, actually, suppose if I have service file and I have another file is called controller, and if I want to call the service things, service methods and classes in my controller, so I will create the constructor for my service class. So if I call the constructor, if I want to call the my service file in the constructor, so I will simply I will simply create the instance of the object, and simply the constructor will hold the current object of the class. And
yeah, but like you are just calling it's all about our classes. Like we are using use, none, app, HTTP, and the class name or the like service name or whatever it is. So that can be directly available with you. Why should we have to initialize that in the constructor side?
But sir, but the overloading or overriding we can't achieve by this which you are telling. Like overloading or overriding, which is also there in by using the constructor. Like if a constructor have the parameters which are there, and if I want to call in the same class, so we can use by the constructor.
Yeah, but like that was all about the dependency over the particular class. So you can pass that as an object as well in the particular service. So why should we also needed the constructor as well?
But sir, you have to call that method also. Like
yeah, but it was like all about if I will needed that, then I should have to call. If I doesn't needed it, then I will don't call. I would like the proper knowing of the constructor. Like in PHP, this is the work of it.
Sir, actually, I have only learned about it why constructor is called, why constructor is which we use. So if we want to call our any specific method by just initializing our object only, so we can use the constructor. Like we just have to pass the parameter only in the object instance or object parameter, and we don't need to call any specific method by using the instance.
Okay, so like if you are just making, so that for that like we can do, like if you have one model, user model, so like according to you, we should have to call that model also in that constructor as well. If you want to do something like that, that means we have to call every class inside the constructor.
No, if you want to call the model, then we can just simply,
like this was like, suppose that I have user controller. So it was like directly I have one user model is also be there. I should have to call that user model. So that for that particularly having the chance that particular model has been called inside that particular file, definitely. So I can call it also inside the constructor. Why should I not be calling that in there?
Yes, and we can call using the constructor also, because the constructor will automatically create the instance of that model.
And that instance is already available there. If you are writing use at app model, then user, then the instance is already available there.
Yes, sir.
Like the function is already available there. Why should we are calling this inside the constructor?
Sir, constructor sir, this instance, sir, that actually, sir, constructor is used to use that to use it increase the code usability, or if you can after using this you will use the multiple lines, like 2 or 3 lines, but what constructor will do in 1 line only.
Why should it was like having the 2 to 3 lines? If the code is depending over the 1 line, we should have to write the 1 line. How constructor will like slow down this or like make it minify?
But sir, of the constructor is when you call the constructor, then it will that time only it will initialize the memory in the object.
Yeah, but like it was supposed to be like I have just called the model over about like file, then I can type down this without the constructor as well. That file is also available in my entire file also. So why should we have to use inside the constructor again? That thing can be do without the constructor as well.
But sir, by using the constructor, you without using constructor, you can't call the multiple files, multiple methods you can't call without.
Why we cannot call multiple methods without constructor? There is no dependency like it.
Sir, actually, I have knowledge about only about this constructor.
Okay. I would like to know basically about like there was a method is the construct, there was a method is destruct. So what is the construct and destruct methods are actually? Why should we have to call them? What was the dependencies of it? Basically, what is the like paramounting of it? Why should we have to call constructor? It is all about to clearing the concepts of it.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have only learned about that when we object created, the constructor automatically invokes, and destructor when object is dying, that time that is invoked.
So have you like used destruct?
No, the destruct I have not used. I have only learned only how to read.
So have you used constructor?
Yes, sir. I have used the constructor.
Where you constructor?
Sir, actually, we in our current company there is we can't work in the controller. Like we work in a controller, but we just using the controller to redirect into the blade files. So we call our service files. We have another service file, and in service file we are to our codes. And when we use that service method and class, then we just create the class of that the constructor. We just create the class of constructor in a controller.
Okay, suppose that like you have one user blade, user model, user service, and user controller. Now what we are going to do, like we have user controller, inside the user controller we are calling the user service. In this user service, suppose that I would like to send the message to the user like user has been saved successfully. So I would like to make it dynamic actually. Like that's what is the common service or something like that. So I would like to see whatever the coming from, whatever the controller from I'm just coming to be, I would like to share the name of it. So what I will gonna do, I would like to pass the name of the particular controller or the like model as well. So like that particular service will receive, and just after that, then the service will receive. When the service will do that particular function, then I would like to say, okay, user has been saved successfully. So how should I can achieve that?
Sir, firstly we will create the controller, and in controller we will define our service directory. Like in service we will import, we will include our service directory, which is there in app and HTTP we will define, and our service class and service class line. Like suppose I have user controller, like user controller.php file I have used, and user service.php file I have used. Okay. So in my controller I will create a constructor, and I will create the instance of the user service. Like user service, I will create the protected type access modifier, and I will define that access modifier, like in the parameter, in the constructor parameter, I will define that user service and user service variable that is like suppose a $service, and inside the constructor I will write $this and the service name, and it equals to which I have passed in the constructor parameter, like $service is equals to. Then in my class where I have created the multiple functions, and you like suppose I have adding the adding some values. So I will use the add, and once the request is coming from my form, then I will return to my service, like using my request all, then request all, and I will call I will call my service by using the $this and colon and arrow sign and $this and service and colon and function name, that is service function name. And I will send the data to the service directly, and service
But I would like to say, suppose that I am from user controller, I would like to pass a name. Like suppose that this particular service is using by the post model as well, by the user model as well. So when I am just going from the user controller, I would like to pass the user. If I am just going from the post controller, I would like to pass the post. So that particular, like whenever I am just sending the message to the user, like it will receive post saved successfully, user saved successfully. So how should I can pass that particular message, static message to like a particular static instance to be there in the service?
Message you are telling her, like I can pass in the parameters, sir.
Yeah, but how? Like you are just as per you, like I should have to go in the every particular controller, like but controller's method, like controller has a class, add user is the something there, and then inside I'm just calling the service. Then after the service, I was passing that data. If the data has been received in the services, I think you are just trying to say that. But it is according to that I should have to pass that particular data multiple times. Like whenever the service is calling, I would like to have to pass that particular. Like I have 5 functions in my controller. That means I should have to pass that user 5 times to be there. I would like to pass it 1 time, so that like I'm just belongs to that particular controller. That controller has to be share that with the service.
but we can pass it. You are saying that if we pass this the content in multiple service file, you are telling, na?
Yeah.
So you can pass in the constructor method.
So how constructor will know that, like how constructor will receive that and will pass on to the particular one, how service will receive that?
Like you can simply use by $this service, and where you want to pass it, like if you want to pass it, then you can simply pass in the constructor. Then where
but like that particular method, the particular code, the particular the variable has to be like the protected variable and the very first variable of that particular service as well. So that when the service has been initialized, that has no I have that availability of this variable, and then he can be saying like user saved successfully because of that variable has to be initialized that time when the service has been called. So how should you can pass that time? Because of whenever you are just passing as an object to the class, is that the data has been received by the particular method, not by the particular service. So that data is null there.
So actually, I didn't get you the question. What
I would like to simply pass the data to the message service, which is the common data. Like your particular whatever your service is, I would like to pass the common data to there. So I don't want to pass it like multiple times. So I would like to pass it directly.
Okay.
So how should we can achieve that?
Sorry, sir, I'm not getting.
So loops. In PHP, okay. Suppose that have you worked with the validation rules?
Sorry, sir.
Validation rules.
Yeah, yes, sir. Validation.
So like in validation rules, we are using the validator as well, and supposed to be that we are making a one request file there and receiving that validation right there.
Yes.
So what method you are using?
Sir, we can use the validator class.
So that validator class you are using inside your particular controller, or you are just making a particular request file for that, then so it can pass from their file.
Yes, sir. We can simply initialize the validator class, and validator and inside the validator class function we just send our parameters which are coming from the form like $request all, and in $request for all, or you can simply initialize our column name also. Like
suppose that you have one form, like you have received two data, name and email. You should have to make some validation for it. So that there is in a controller which name has a function store. Now the function store you have to write something validator column. Then you are just describing the particular one, like name for that I am this validation, email for this validation. Or supposed to be that you are just not writing that, you are just using in the store functions bracket parenthesis $request or $request validation something else. So what functions you use for that?
Sir, I will simply I can use the validator dot colon and $request, and I will simply pass the column names also.
Yeah. But that was the traditional method. I would like to know you are just familiar with the request methods, where we are just making the validation request for particular one. We are passing that request as
we can use by $request all, $request all function is there that we get all the name property data from the form.
Yeah, but that was for to making the array. We are just want to making the request to be inside the array, so that we can supposed to be seeing that all as well. I would like to know we can make in Laravel we have one validation rules. So we can Laravel rules, we can make validation rules for particular making a user validation in request. Then we can call that particular file. In that particular file, we are using the validation method. So it will return the user has proper data or not. So are you working with that one as well?
No, sir.
No, okay. In Laravel, suppose why we are just doing that? We have one common functions I would like to know about. We have availability of inheritance. Yeah. So that's why we have base controllers. So, and again, we have helper files. Then we have trade. Then we have services. Then we have classes. Then we have observers. So why should we have these separate parts of it? What is the basic difference between all those?
Different path or what's you saying there?
I would like to know, you have helper. Helper is doing what? It was having the set of functions, and we can call them. Again, if we are going with the inheritance, so we have one base controller. It has what? Base set of functions. We can call them. Then we are going with state. State has set of functions. We can call them services set of functions, classes set of functions. All are the set of function and we are calling something from that. So what is the basic difference between all of those?
Okay, what is difference between them?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the if I'm starting, I'm in my classes. Like if I am using in the classes, like in helper, if you are if I'm talking about the helper, then helper function is or can call globally in our project. Like globally, you can call anywhere. And in classes, if you are talking about like inheritances classes, like it will call where you can inherit the classes. Like you can't go to the another class and you can call this function like which without inherit the class, because the Laravel only support the 3 types of inheritance, like single, multiple, and multi-level.
So Laravel support which one?
Single, multiple, and multi-level.
All of 3.
Sorry,
like all of 3 are supported by the Laravel.
yes, sir. 3 type of and it is supported also the 2 type of it is supported all type of inheritance, like because by using by trait or interfaces, but by using the class and functions, it supports only 3 parts, like single, multiple, and multi-level.
Okay. Now suppose that I have like one user function, like a function send mail. So where you will gonna make this? So helper, suppose that I have to make a function to sending the mail to the user. So that was on a global function. So where I should have to make that? Like in inheritance, like base controller, in helper, or like in class or in a service, where should I have to make it?
No, you can simply use in the helper.
Why we have to use in helper? Like we can use in base controller as well.
Sir, after if you are using the helper, then you just only if you have used in any another classes or any other function, then you can use it.
Yeah, but like in PHP, we are just sending the mail from like controllers as well, and every controller is extended by the separate class, which is base controller. So inheritance is always available over the every controller. So why should we have to do like in helper? What is the basic reason behind doing in the helper? Because everywhere the inheritance is available.
Yes, sir, inheritance are already all. But sir, in the blade files or in another files, how you can achieve it?
Yeah, but it was like, suppose that if you are sending a mail to a user, that means like you should have to be availability with the all of data, and the data will available from the controller side, because like over the blade file you are not running out with the queries. If you are running out with them, that means you are just using the wrong method. So we are not using the queries there, we have not the bunch of data. So we are sending that trigger routing a function, that means we have to use from it the controller. Because what is the Laravel standard? That means we are just calling the functions from the basic approach. So basic approach is calling from the controller, calling from the service. So that means we don't have to use it over the blade. So why then help us?
Sir, actually in helper, if you want to call in anywhere or any other places, like the same thing, because the same thing if you are doing the any blade file, then you can where you can add this the same code in the any controller.
Like I told you, like in controller, we are always available with the inheritance everywhere. And in blade file, we don't have to use the functions. Like any code of that, like where we are just writing out some functions, calling those functions which are available and using them over to the sending mail over from the blade file. It is not a right practice, I feel. So it doesn't mean like I should have to call over like that function over the blade. And if I don't want to call that over the blade, that means I don't have to be need of help as per according you. Like you are just telling me I have to use helper, just because of that I would like to send that mail from the blade as well. So suppose that I don't want to send it from the blade. I want to send it from the controller only. Then what?
Okay, so
Why use it?
Actually, sir, I have in current knowledge I have learned about only this thing, like if you want to call in any global function in any our project, we can create the helper. So that's why that's currently I'm using.
Okay, what is the meaning of composer dump autoload?
Sir, composer dump autoload, it will run all the commands like a cache clear or a config cache clear. That is in composer directory. There is a composer on JSON file is there. in the composer.json file, retrieve retrieve the data from delete the all packages, and it will initialize the one again that composed all the packages which I have installed in my system.
So what is the basic use of it? When we have to use it?
Sorry, sir.
What is the basic use of it, and when we have to use it?
Sir, I'm not getting your voice.
Why?
Broken. Your voice is broken, sir. Hello.
I would like to say, why should we have to use composer dump autoload, and when we have to use it?
Sir, sir, suppose if I add one another package in my file in our project, so I will simply pass the object in the composer.json file, and I will do the composer.autolog. Then it will create that project or that file also in my project.
Yeah, but like for that we can do something like composer require that package name is type and all. Then that package is also available with you. Why should composer dump autoload?
But if the composer dependency is also there with the rest of the packages, like to reinitialize that so that time we can use.
So you think that if you have one Stripe package that will not support it to your current Laravel version, that means you are just going with your composer file and then updating the version of it, and it will start working with the another file and structure as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, what is the use of app.php?
Sir, in app.php, sir, I have not any major information about it, but something I actually we have used it inside something like if email authentication, like
on actually. Okay. In Laravel, suppose that I would like to say, are you familiar with the gate?
Sorry, sir.
Gate. Yeah.
No, sir. Get and set method.
No. Get.
Gates
are the same part of the guard as well.
Gates. No, sir.
Okay. Are you familiar with guards?
Guards. No, sir. I have not familiar with.
Okay. Are you familiar with middleware?
Yes, sir. Middleware. I have.
What are middleware?
Sir, it is majorly used in the user authentication. Like if you want to do any particular task before going to the one interface, then that type of middleware we use. Like suppose if I'm logging from the user login, and I will just want to check that if the user is authenticated or not. So I will create a middleware, and we will create a session for that user. And if the user session is exists, then we will go through that middleware, and we will blend into the dashboard API.
Have you worked with API?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like suppose that I have to make two kinds of API file. One is API.php is available with me, but I want to make one API v1.php as well. So how I can make it?
You can use simply route in v1, like prefix v1 you can use.
Yeah, but I would like to make another file. The file is like API PHP is available. API v1.php I would like to make.
Sir, you can create. You can simply create by API.pv1 in the route directory.
That means every route is coming to that particular file first, then I will redirect to the another route, another file.
No,
that is not good.
If you create the API v1 file .php file, then if you want and you have to include in this file in the API.php file, and after that you can call simply the API from the API.
Then whenever you are running a command like PHP artisan cache : clear or something like command while installing the packages, it will give you error because that is not a supportive method to the particular file as well. Like if the things are working like that, that means we can create a global constant file everywhere and then call that particular file and can use that values everywhere. But it doesn't need to be the Laravel standard because of that is a part of core PHP.
Okay, yes. Okay, sir. So I will learn about it. These things.
Okay, no issues. So are you familiar with the models?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are the difference between no. I mean to say suppose that you have to create migration with making a model as well. So what will command you will write?
Sorry, sir.
You have to create one model and also create its migration with it. So what command you will write?
We can simply create by the PHP artisan make migration, and we will create the we will name the migration name, and I will after that I will use PHP artisan make model and model name and -m I will use, then migration model will create automatically.
Okay. So suppose that I have to like add one column inside the particular migration table. Like I have user table, I would like to make one active column inside that one. So what command I should have to write?
Sir, we will we have to use in like make colon migration, and we will create the migration name, and after that I hyphen table is equals to and table name, like what the table name is there. Like suppose users num table is there, so users I will write, and it will create the users migration, and I will simply write the $table thing. And
I have to say you have to create one is active column inside the user table, and already you have the migration available for it. So how you can gonna make?
Yes, I have a user table, and I want to add another column, like suppose the status column I want to add.
Yeah.
In existing table.
Yeah.
So you can create the migration, so like in PHP and make migration.
Migration is already there.
Yes, migration is already there, so we can create the another migration. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
We can create another migration by using the hyphen table and it equals to migration name. And after using it, then it will create the migration for users, and after I will create the add column function in the migration.
So you mean like we can directly not create that particular column inside it? That we should have to create a migration.
Once you can create the migration for the users, then you can use you can use the rollback, like a PHP artisan rollback function that will rollback that migration, and you can create the column which you want to add, and then you can use the migrate function.
Okay. So suppose that like you have one like user available, like user tables available there that has some salary column. So you have to get the third highest salary from the user table. So what query you will write?
Okay. So third, you want to get the third highest salary.
Yeah.
Okay. So you will firstly we will get the data from the users, and this user data we have to make the conditions, like limit we have to use, like which limit we, and
what will be the exact query?
Sorry, sir.
What will be the exact query?
Okay, exact query.
Yeah.
Okay, so exact query will be the select all from the users, and where we can use by the where we can use limit limit 3. We can use limit 3, and max value we can use like that. So currently it is not coming in my mind.
Okay, no issues. Suppose that like when you have one user now, and when you have one user table, another table is post table. Now you have to find out the post, which is like find out the user who don't created a post yet.
Okay. Sorry. Tell me once again.
You have one user table, another is post table. You have to find out the user who don't created any post yet.
Okay, who don't create the post any yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can simply use the foreign key in the post table, like which user has.
Yeah, but what will be the query right for that?
Sir, we will get the data in the post table, like in post table. We will use the we can use by using this service like relationships. Like I will get the suppose user post model I have used. So in user model I will get the count of that. I will use the width, and I will in the user model I will write the query for it. Like I will get I will call the user like user table colon class, and I will write the relationships ID like user ID, like ID and colon and user user.
I would like to know the basic query actually.
Sorry, I am telling about in the Laravel, like how you can query. I can write a query in the Laravel.
Yeah, like you have to write out the query in Laravel, you are telling me about the relationships. I would like to go directly in the flow. And you have to directly simply get the like data users who haven't created a post yet. So what that you can simply write a query and tell me the SQL query so that I can like justify that.
Sir, simply if you want to get the queries, so we can use if you want to do in the SQL, then we can use the join query. Like in the join query, we will I will write the select all from the select all, and I will use the count function in the all inside the all, and in count and select all from the user post, and join user post join user, and where user ID user ID colon user ID colon user post is equals to user table dot ID. This will query call, and
like this will give you the all of the users who have created the post. I would like to know the users who haven't created the post.
So if no user if count, sorry, I will it will get the data for the user count. Like if the data is not coming, then it will get the data from the user.
No issues. Okay. What is the use of college function in like SQL?
Sorry, then
College.
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 No, that I have not.
Okay. Like suppose that you have one user table, one is the post table. Like sorry, you have one user table only. Now in user table, like you have like a gender column. In gender column, you are storing 0, 1, 2. 0 for male, 1 for female, 2 for other. Okay. Now you should have to send the data in API, and like by directly you can have to do like something like 0 where the 0 is exist, you have to send the male. 1 where is exist, where you have to send the female, and 2 is exist, you have to send the other. So you have to do directly inside the query. How you can do that?
Inside the query, so we can use the where function, like where.
Yeah, but like how you can write the where inside the particular query as well. Like you have to manipulate the value of that particular column, which is currently in the flow of getting.
Sir, I actually I have taken the half an hour break in my company. So currently I have to go in the company.
No issues. So I'm done from my side. If you have any question, you can ask. That's our company will call you and let you know the feedback.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.